All right, this is the intro to our first video for the channel. So I got into reselling, flipping, yard selling. A buddy of mine at work, his name is Paul. He kind of introduced me to it, and then we started watching the like Harry Tornado and Flippy McFlipperson. They're local here in South Carolina where we are, and so that's kind of how I got into it. But mainly got into it to because I liked it to find a deal. It's exciting to find something for cheap, and then make a little extra money on the side. We had originally, when I told Haley I was gonna start doing this and selling on eBay. I told her that my goal was to flip enough money to pay for a membership to our local golf club, the private golf club, and so our goals have kind of since changed since then. So that's kind of been put on the back burner. But that was kind of why we got started and got into it. And then I roped Haley into it, who's my wife, and then my sister Kara and my mom kind of roped them into it. And so that's who will be on our channel. The channel is called Flip For It because there's four of us who are kind of doing this as a hobby on the side. So we're part time. We all work. We're not trying to make a living doing this. We just thought it would be fun to kind of do this with a little side money, some fun money, and we enjoy it. So we figured we could have a little fun with the channel and maybe inspire people or encourage people that you don't have to be a full time flipper to do this and still kind of see some monetary benefit from selling some stuff on the side just as some fun money. And so we don't I never wanted it to be a second job or anything like that. And so part of what we wanted to do was to set goals for ourselves to what we were going to flip for. Like I said, my original one was the golf membership, but no longer kind of chasing that right now. Maybe someday, but not right now. And you'll see in the video at the end, we have like a status update for what our goal is. But so for the first time in like 8 years, we got tickets to the Masters. We've been put in the lottery for like 8 years. Finally got tickets. And so when we go, if you know anything about the Masters, the tickets aren't that bad if you win them in the lottery. But everything there is obviously expensive, apparel and stuff like that. It took 7 or 8 years to get those, and so I don't know when we're gonna get it back. So we wanted to flip for splurge money to go to the Masters, get whatever apparel, gear, memorabilia we wanted, kind of guilt free. And so we set a goal of $1,000. We want to flip for $1,000 of profit to take with us to the Masters to be able to buy some keepsakes and stuff like that. And so that's our goal, and that's what we'll be tracking at the end of this first video. And so the first video that we did, we had to start somewhere with the channel and everything, and so we just kind of picked up midstream. So there won't be much footage of actually shopping or going to sales. Kind of reviewing some of the stuff we found from the previous week, and kind of just an update, and then a status update on what we sold that week and things like that. But moving forward, every week we'll have kind of footage of us going to yard sales or thrift stores or whatever, and then doing an update every week at the end just to kind of keep you guys in track for what our goal is. So hope you enjoy and let us know what you think. So Friday I was playing golf, and so before I went to play golf, went by a yard sale in the morning, church yard sales in a good part of town, so figured it would be a pretty good one. So I got there, what time did I say I got there? Like 8 o'clock? Mm-hmm. And I was like 100 people deep, and they all had bags and were professionals. So got inside, it was pretty crazy. Just started stuffing stuff in a bag. I went and got 2 full grocery, like reusable bags full, and then had to go back to the car and got another one. And then, so anyway, this is what we got. We'll go through it. Some of it was, I don't know. Some of it was not great, but it's just kind of quantity stuff. So the shoes were like crazy crowded, and so I didn't really get any shoes. These are Ariat sandals, which may be a bad buy. I don't know. I haven't really looked at them. I got these New Balances. I think are pretty good, and that's pretty much all I got in the shoes before I got boxed out. Athletic, so 2 Athleta tops, both on the same size. Probably list those together since they're mediums. Athleta's not great, but they were $1 each. So, and then the purses were as bad as the shoes. Couldn't hardly get to them, but I got 2 little wallets. I think they're 50 cents each. Little red fossil. Has a couple spots on it. I don't think it'll be a big deal. Haley says if it's got the key, that is vintage fossil. That's what she says. And then this was a little Brighton wallet. So not too bad there either. 50 cents. So then the clothes, pair of Levi's picked up for, I think everything was like $2 basically. So I'm not gonna say the prices on anything else, 'cause I'm pretty sure everything was only $2, maybe $3 for like jackets. Granger Owings, 100% cashmere. So I wasn't actually that familiar with that brand. I mean, I saw a bunch of pants and stuff that were like good quality, but they were not something I was familiar with. But anyway, I picked it up as 100% cashmere. Ralph Lauren, lamb's wool, then a Volition, new with tags, golf brand. It's the Folds of Honor that they do, so it was pretty cool. So I grabbed that new with tags. I think they sell for like $50 is what I was seeing. Retail's like $90, so John Deere hoodie, new with tags. Not nothing great, but I was already flipping through and it was there, so I mean, why not grab it? This was a cool one. Haley was excited about this one. The Athleta Blazer. So have never seen that before. So that was new. It's in like mint condition. Size 2. So I think I looked up like quickly comps on that. It was like $40 maybe, $50, just depends. This is the one I told you about, Stio. I learned about a brand in Nebraska. I picked up something, well, I wanted to pick up something there, but they were asking like $25 for a jacket. Had never heard of that brand before, so I looked it up and it's actually pretty good. But this was, I think, $2, and they sell for 30 or 40, I believe, on the Stio. So the little acorn, pine cone kind of thing, whatever that is. That's a winner though, if you ever find that, especially like their outerwear and their pants and stuff like that do good. Brooks Brothers, nothing special. Again, everything was like $1 or $2, so Brooks Brothers. Levi jean jacket. David, what was this one I told you? David Donnelly. Hadn't heard of that one either. I looked it up like real quick while I was in there, and they were they doing okay, like $20 a piece. There were 2 of them the exact same size, exact same model, and everything beside each other. So I can list them together and do a little bit better on them. So I picked those up. More Brooks Brothers. Both of those are Brooks Brothers. Just, basic button downs, but $2 again. North Face. That was like one of the first things I grabbed when I got in there that I saw before all the good stuff got snatched up. Polo pants. So I grabbed a bunch of polo pants, which I normally wouldn't buy at like a Goodwill or anything like that, but being $2 and a lot of more duplicate sizes, so you can list them. You can list them together and do better on the shipping, so you can get more for your money or whatever. But mountain khakis, done pretty good selling those in the past. Just regular pair of khakis. Another Ralph Lauren. These are Vineyard Vine pants. Again, not a great buy at like a Goodwill or something for $5 or $6, but for $2, it's not terrible. And then this was a new brand. I'd never seen that one. Bill's khakis. Saw a few pairs of those, but I wasn't sure what it was. The quality looked good, and it says made in the USA. So I got the yellow pants because they were different, and then I got another pair. I can't remember. It might be on the need to wash pile over there, but got those, so they were pretty good. And then I got 4 or 5 pairs of Brooks Brothers in a row. They were all, I'm guessing, by the same person, and they were all in like really, really good shape. And so I got, I think 3. That was Brooks Brothers. These are Brooks Brothers. I got 3 used Brooks Brothers, like pre-owned, and then these were new with tags, Brooks Brothers, same size as the other ones, but obviously new with tags. I'll list those separate. Probably do the other 3 in a lot, again, to try to move them quicker and reduce shipping costs, so you can get a little bit more per item if you do it that way. Another Ralph Lauren polo. Spent a lot of time in pants. It was the first place that I went, and it was less crowded, so everyone went straight for the. They had jewelry too. I didn't tell you that they had jewelry. And the jewelry, like people were walking in the door and they were asking like, "Where's the jewelry?" Immediately, they were asking, "Where's the jewelry?" And so the shoes, purses, and jewelries got hit pretty hard. And then there was some really committed old people that went straight for the books and loaded up. I mean, bags of books. So, vineyard vines, pants. I got a lot of pants. And some of these have, there's another pile over there that we'll kind of go through in a second, but there's some matches on those duplicates. Those are Southern Tide pants. And then more Ralph Lauren. I think these are Bill's khakis again. So another one. I want to say they were the same size when I looked. So I hadn't decided if I was going to do those together or not. But so that was that. And then we got Stono Ferry, Peter Millar, Stono Ferry. So that's of course down in Charleston that I played last time we went to Seabrook Island on vacation. So I'm gonna try that one on and see about keeping that one because it won't appeal to as many people. So that one might be personal. And then Peter Millar button down. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got a Peter Millar quarter zip. So a really nice one again. And this pile here is the need some touch up. Haley's my spot remover. And so this one I got dirty. Putting it in the car, I got it dragged in the car. I had, like I said, I had 2 whole bags I was trying to stick in there, and I got stuff dirty trying to get it in the car. So that one needs to be cleaned up. That was also my size. So if it's too dirty to use, then I might keep that one too. But this whole pile here has got some little odds and ends, like little spot issues that Haley's going to try to get out for us. We already looked at that one. Lululemon pants. So they got like 1 or 2 like little tiny spots. Not a big deal. Probably can get that out for the most part. Those typically do pretty good on the men's side. Nothing great, but Southern Tide with a couple little spots, and then a lot more of the same. So I think there's like Ralph Lauren, Southern Tide, 4 or 5 more of Southern Tide, Ralph Lauren on those. So no need to go through all those. It gets kind of monotonous there. And then pick this up almost on the way out. It's the right time of year. Little Masters visor, ladies visor. So guys, 1 little spot. Who's gonna work her magic on that, and we should be able to get that out. And like I said, right time of the year we'll be able to sell that. Be good. And then I got these 2. Well, I was actually really excited about the pants. These are made in USA Nike shorts, so I thought that was going to be a great find. They're the biggest large I've ever seen in my life, though. Like there's no way these are a large. I mean, people might have been built different in the 90s, but those are huge. So, but they're also biker. I don't know if you can see the padding there in the crotch area, but they're for cycling. So, not a real big market for secondhand cycling crotch shorts. So that's a loser. And then these are Murray's. What does it say? Murray's Toggery Shop. So I looked these up real quick while I was in there. They actually sell pretty good, like really good, like $35-$40 and fast. But as I was looking over them, there's a hole in a less than desirable location. And so, could probably sew that up, but I wouldn't feel good about selling it knowing that it's been repaired in such a critical area. So, that was pretty much it at that yard sale. I think we spent $80 to $90, something like that, and I probably got 40 or 50 things. So, averaging $2 a piece, basically, on all this stuff. Just doing the math on it, probably just conservative, we make $15 an item. That's what, $750, something like that. So not bad for a morning before going to play golf. All right, so on my way home from kids soccer game today, There was a sign in the neighborhood. Actually, we saw it on the way to the game that there was a yard sale, and we didn't have time to go buy it before the game, which was disappointing because it would have been earlier in the day. So we didn't get there. I think it started at 8, and we didn't get there till what? Close to 11, maybe? Something? No, it wasn't quite that late. It's probably like 10:30, maybe. Anyway, so I was thinking it was probably going to be pretty much picked over, and there really wasn't going to be much left, but they didn't put it in like the yard sale app, and I doubt they put it in Facebook, or if they did, it was like really late in the day, and so it was not really shopped over that much. So some pretty cool stuff. I guess we'll go to the clothes first, but this is my new favorite brand, obviously, the Bill's khakis corduroy. So I had never seen this before, like this weekend, and I found it in multiple places. So those are pretty good. They were like $30. Corduroy's kind of in right now. People are kind of liking that. And then I picked these two up. These are really cool. So this is a Peter Millar men's 2XL suede leather jacket. So it does have like a couple little spots on it, like here, and I think I saw one. I think I want to say it was in the back, maybe like a little spot or something. Yeah. So might have to do some little spot treating on it, but I saw, and they were kind of all over the place because it depends on the model, but they were like well over $100. Like some of them were selling for like $300 and $400 for specific ones. Now I haven't found like an exact comp on that, but I mean conservatively, assuming we don't have any major discoveries for staining or anything, and like that mark there is on the inside, so like you wouldn't even see that one, but probably easily $100. So let's see what else we got. This was Brooks Brothers, so pick this one up. Brooks Brothers 100% leather. It's a women's size 6, which Brooks Brothers women's is less desirable than the men's, but it's in really good shape. It did have one little spot we found and saw, looks like a pin. So Haley's gonna try to work magic on that one.
On leather?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be done. It can be done.
I don't know about that.
It can be done. There's leather cleaning. There's leather cleaning products. It can be done. Touch it up a little bit, but even still, I mean, it was $5. So both of those jackets were $5. That one there, well worth it. This one, I mean, I think they were selling like 50, 60, 70, somewhere in that neighborhood for the Brooks Brothers leather. So maybe one with a minor flaw, somebody might want, even on a discount, still be, $30 or so. So I got that, and I picked these two candlesticks up. Haley had the kids in the car, and they were going crazy. So grabbed they had a box of silver, but I did not have time to go through it all. I don't know if you can see it, so it's got a reflection on it, looks like. But Godinger is what those are. So Godinger silver candlesticks that don't need to be cleaned up. I want to say she charged me $1 each for those. So I mean, no brainer. And then the hats. Well, I was digging through some stuff. So the kids went back with Haley, and then I actually stayed and shopped a little more after my first round. So they were bringing stuff out from the house still. So I picked up Peter Moore, and I thought these were new initially, but I think they were dry cleaned, and they just returned them with like the board in them because they don't have any tags on them. So I don't think they're new, but they are still in good shape. But picked up 2 Peter Millar, which I'll probably lock those together again. You can get a little bit more.
Yeah.
2 Peter Millar. They're not summer comfort. They are cotton, which is less desirable. But again, I think I paid like $3 for those. This was a Grayson Golf, and it's not like the performance, version. It's just a cotton one, but so not necessarily great, but not terrible. And then I picked up just a NFL brand, like not a team brand, just NFL brand, new with tags. Retail $65. So again, $2-3 can't go wrong there. And then they had cameras listed over there, and I always like to pick up little cameras, especially the digital ones. And Sony and Canon obviously do good. And they wanted $5 each, but they gave them to me for $3 a piece. So I got 2 Cyber Shots and then the 85 zoom, which I've actually sold this before. I want to say, and I typically don't test the film cameras,
I guess I could. I don't typically do it because I don't have any film. Basically, is the reason I don't do it. But I'm not saying I couldn't do it, but I haven't in the past. But they sell about $30, even without being tested. They sell for like $30. If you do test them and they work, they're 40 to 50-ish, and they sell pretty fast. They don't take up much space. They're, yeah. If you can sell something untested for $30 and you paid $3 for it, I mean, that's a win, right? This one's still got a tag on it, but those two, I gotta look them up. They're easier to test. The inside, I did check for like batteries and stuff, because it's one thing to always look at them cameras to make sure. I don't know if you can see in there, to make sure there's no corrosion or anything inside. Again, by the quality of the rest of the yard sale, I felt pretty good that they were probably in working condition and they weren't just trash. And so I picked those up. I'm guessing somewhere between 20 and 30 on both of those. So I don't know, 60, 70 on cameras, spent $10. They sell fast. Might do better on the Sonys if they work and no issues. They might do better than that, so not too bad. This was the most exciting. So I'll save that one for last. That one was my favorite. Actually, that one's pretty good too. But I saw like a box of hats, right? So they're a little dirty, but it's just like dust. So, like, they're not like don't look like any water damage or anything like that. I think they're just literally sitting in someone's office or something. New with tags, 96 Olympics hats. So the comps, I quickly looked at this one. There was one listed, I think it was listed for $61, and there were like 25 saves on it or something like that. So 25 saves, and so $61. So I was like, well, they were $1, hats for $1. I was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Same Olympics. This one's also new with tags. I saw another one of these. It was not listed as much. Yeah, so it's got the original. I don't know what those tags actually are. That's not a price tag, but anyway. I'm guessing like he was either a volunteer or somehow affiliated with it to have gotten them all and not like ever like worn them. But nonetheless, I think this one's like 25 or 30 is the comps I saw on it. It didn't seem to be as desirable. Same for this one. It was, and this one's a little bit dirtier. We'll have to do a little dust management, but it was new with tags. You can see it was like the others not worn, but the paper has come off of it, but it's never been worn. They were just stored somewhere in a box, but probably, I don't know, close to $100 on those 3 hats alone. And then I was digging in the bottom and I found this, and I don't know what it's worth yet, but it's a vintage Miami Dolphins, and if you are a Miami Dolphins fan or a football fan, you probably recognize that signature, but that's Dan Marino, number 13, quarterback, Miami Dolphins. So super cool.
Old school,
vintage for sure. It's a Team Apex one. I don't know what the story is on that, but nonetheless, I don't know what it's worth. I mean, there's some Dan Marino fans out there who wouldn't want to have if you're a Miami fan who wouldn't want a Dan Marino sign. It does have a little bit of thread issues. I showed you that earlier, but it's got a couple of threads coming loose right there, but like nobody's gonna wear it, so you're gonna display it on the shelf
or in a case.
Yeah, and so you're not gonna really care if we can trim those up, make them look good, and be a cool thing for a collector. So not bad for popping in a little yard sale after the kids' soccer game on the way home. So pretty good little finds. And then Haley, when did you go to Goodwill? When was that? Tuesday? Wednesday?
I went to Goodwill and Mission.
And Mission Lexington, which is our other little local store that we like. So she picked up a few things. We hadn't, still got the receipt for that one. That's good. So, picked up a few things. They wasn't anything amazing. She got I don't even remember now. Oh yeah, Peter Millar, medium, crown crafted sweater. It's about my size in a Peter Millar, so I don't know if I want to keep that one or not. But that one's is in good shape. That's nice. It's not the right time of year necessarily for those, but what can you do? So that's a good find regardless. And then this was a brand we had never heard of, so we had to look this one up. Lord Jeff. So 100% virgin Australian lamb's wool, but it said made in the USA. So made in the USA, always kind of a
Made in USA wool, and it's not balled up at all.
Yeah. It's in good shape. It's made in USA, and it's virgin Australian lamb's wool. All that sounds expensive. So, looked it up, and they were like $35, $40, and they were selling pretty good. So, I think these were what, $475, $450, something like that.
Yeah.
At Mission Lexington. So that one's pretty good. And then these were kind of a gamble. I don't know if they're vintage or not. Oh, these are in better shape than I thought
They've
they were.
like never
Yeah,
been
those
worn.
I don't think those I've ever seen.
No.
So $9.99. Coach, like women's loafers, right?
Yeah.
So if they've been worn, yeah, they've been worn, but very minimal wear. So those are in excellent condition. I was trying to remember what we looked on the comps for those. I want to say they were like $30 maybe, 30, 35, something like that. Some of them were going for more. It just kind of depended on the style, and I couldn't really gauge why some of them were going for more than others. So $10 is more than we like to pay for shoes, more than the typical Goodwill price, but and they're 5.5, which is kind of a not a great size, but nonetheless, I think we'll make money on them.
I just want to preface that you told me to get them.
Yeah,
I send
I-
everything to you, and you say
I
buy
signed
or
off.
don't. So
I signed off on it.
yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
So
I
don't
think
make
it's a
it
good
sound
buy.
like I didn't. That
I
I
think
bought them without you.
I think it's a good buy. I'm just saying.
May not
they
be
may,
the
they may
best
slow.
return.
They might be slow. I mean, we're not. It's not home run, but it's not bad. So
You forgot
that's
your player's shirt.
oh yeah, Haley picked up. I don't have it up here. I've been wearing it all week for the Players Tournament, Players Championship golf. She picked up a Nike Players Championship pullover for me at
Mission.
Lexington for like $4. So was actually the week of the Players that she bought it like earlier in the week. So it would have been like the perfect time to sell it. But I've worn it all week long and enjoyed it. So that one's gonna be a personal keeper. If I'm bored with it, next year when the tournament comes around, then maybe I'll sell it next year.
Yeah, got the stains out of it. They were minimal.
You had like one. It was almost like mud spot.
Yeah.
Like someone had played golf and got a mud spot on it, and they came right out. So, but not bad for a Tuesday morning, and then basically
3 days.
I mean,
Basically.
yeah, one full blown shopping day on Friday morning before golf, and then the other was just quick pop-ins. So a lot of stuff, probably 60, 70 things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we spent total for all this, we spent $40 today at the yard sale in our neighborhood. Spent 80-ish at the church yard sale, and then you spent
Like
10,
15 with the
20,
shoes.
it's probably 20, right?
Yeah.
Probably 20. So, what's that? $140. So you do the price per item. It's pretty good. It's like $1, and a half almost per item. So, probably. I mean, I'd say probably close to $1,000 total on $150 of stuff. So pretty good.